and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Normark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And we're in our 12 weeks of Christmas and we're in week 10, which is all about decorations. I love to do centerpieces and things and little decorations around on various different surfaces and things that I have. And today we're going to do something very simple. As always, all my craft is fairly simple and easy to achieve. All you need for this is one of these polystyrene cones. Doesn't matter what size it is, because it just means you're going to cut out a few more circles. These I got from local craft shop and they were doing 2 for £1. So, you know, they're very inexpensive. They're made out of polystyrene or styrofoam if you're in America or Canada. And yes, we're going to make a tree. So scraps, we all have boxes of them. So I've got some, I've decided you can do it in traditional greens and things, but I think it can sometimes look a little bit, well, it doesn't, it can look a little bit amateurish, shall we say, or childish, whereas doing it in golds and silvers and you know, sparkly. So I've chosen all of the little papers that have got a bit of a sparkle to it, and a little bit of pink in there. You need a glue gun, and as I say, you're just literally going to you know, here's an odd scrap that I've got left of this one, so all I'm going to do is to just cut. I keep them all together in the same piles. But what I want to make sure is that I don't put the same two next to each other. So then we just need a glue gun. And I am going to, on the first row, I'm going to actually glue the paper, and you want it to come down to the bottom. So when it stands up, it's not going to be proud. So you want it just down to the bottom. And then I'm going to just take the next one. So as I say, the first row is going to be a mixture of all sorts. And as I say, I'm gluing my paper first, only because I want to make sure that I get it exactly where I want it. And I'm not gluing the underside of it. I'm only gluing the top of it. So I'm just doing, I'm going to go around and do one of each one. Whoops, a couple on there. So you only need a tiny little bit of the glue and just bend it round a little bit as you go. And we've got this white one, so you could actually just bend it slightly. Just put a little bit in. Need to make sure I've got enough, otherwise it might just pop out, because that one wasn't quite bent round enough. So yes, curl them just a little bit. This one's sticking up, so hopefully the one that's going to go on top will work all right. Now you can't really see this on there. What's the next one am I going to do? A little bit of this pink one. So a little bit of glue on there, take it through, and we're just going to take it round like that. So yes, depending on the thickness of the paper or the cardstock, it's quite an idea to just give it a little bit of a bend first, because then it looks more like a leaf on there. But I wanted it to coordinate with the pine cones that we were making earlier on, because I'm going to make it all into a centerpiece, and I might actually show that to you at the end of the week, so you know, so you can see what we've been sort of aiming for, as it were. Because as I say, I do like doing decorations. So you can see I'm putting them just about halfway across, I suppose. But I'm working my way round, doing a different one, alternating them. Now, I haven't got the same number because, as I said, these are scraps. So, you know, don't worry about it too much. And I don't even know if I've got enough to do them all. I'm just working my way round and just seeing as I go how many I will need. So I say just work your way all the way around. You can see my fingers are getting covered in glue, but that's all right. It will come off afterwards. Do I want a white one? Yep. So as I say, some of this designer series paper is thick another, and you can do, as I say, whatever colours you want. I just thought it'd be quite fun to do it with this, and I might even add some other things on later on. I haven't really decided. Right, I'm going to go back to this one. And as I say, as long as you haven't got them coming up together. Okay, so we're now at the front on here. So I need to have one that's going to come in between. So what have I got quite a lot of? I'm going to put this one in actually. So I can have this coming in. And then, so we want it to sort of come in one way and the other. I'm putting one piece in and the other piece down like that. Okay, so that's our first row. So you can see on there it goes round, and you will get bits of string coming through from the hot glue, but that's all right. So now we can start on our second layer. And again, we're going to do exactly the same thing. So you can fast forward if you want to. And as I say, I find it easier just for positioning to do it just onto the paper rather than onto the foam. And you can see I'm alternating the next layer so it comes between them, a bit like brickwork, so that your leaves aren't going to be in the same sort of position, because you don't want them sort of going up and down, you want them to come across. So each one, let's put this one on. And as I say, I'm hoping I'm going to have enough. I don't know whether I am, and if I don't, I can cut some more. But that's about the distance that we want them from. So you can see from here, they're overlapping on here, because we want them to come across. And I'm literally now just not necessarily doing them completely separately, but I'm doing them so that they don't come down through on here. So just put them in over one on the other. But I quite like doing it in golds and silvers and things, because I think it can look quite pretty. Now that one there, I did it over the top of it, and I should have really done it underneath, but it doesn't matter because I think the next row will be all right. So let's put some more of these ones on, and then I can put that one. So these are all going over the top. And as I say, the more you put on, the more it starts to build up and look quite pretty. So I haven't got as many of this pink. It's one of my absolute favourite papers. I expect a lot of you will remember this one. I really loved it. So I'm going to be a bit frugal with this one, because I think I've only got about 5 or 6, because it was just a little bit. So I want to try and make sure that that comes in fairly evenly. I've got quite a lot of this gold, so there can be some more of that on there. And that's the thing about, if you have them in piles, you can see how many you've got of different things, so you can see whether they're going to fit or not, how far across they're going to go. So I'm going to do this one here, like that. And then we'll have one in between. That will work in between. I've got to pull some of this glue off my fingers, because I've got quite a bit of glue. And then we'll have this one in on here. Okay, so this one has to come in underneath, and underneath this one as well. So we're just take it in, whoops, and push it up so that it comes in between like that. Okay, so that's our second row. So you can see on there how it's starting to look really rather nice. So let's do another row. Now I want to start with the pink because I want to see I've got pink there, pink there. So I'm going to start with some pink just there because, as I say, I haven't got as many of the pink. So I'm probably only going to put one pink on each row. So by starting with it, I know that it's going to come where I want. And again, I want this to come in over the top of these two. So we're doing it sort of as brickwork as we come down. And then just working your way across. So I think you probably need, I don't know, about 50 maybe? 50, 100? 50 I think probably. Quite a bit of this gold. Let's do this one. Because obviously as you go up, it's going to get smaller. So just put that one on. Haven't done one of these ones, and again I'm not putting them the same direction on the paper, so I'm purposefully just literally putting them in so that they come in different directions, because you don't want it to look uniform, because it's a tree and it's not being done with you know, lots of different pieces of paper. You can make sure that it's a little bit more abstract. So, you know, don't worry about your paper being maybe not exactly the right way round, because it doesn't matter. You see on this one, sorry, I've got lots of wet glue on my fingers. If you see on this one, it's facing that direction, this one's facing that direction. It doesn't, the idea is that it looks just a mixture of colours, but they all tone into each other quite well. So that's the idea of trying to build it up by doing just a little bit at a time. And, you know, by doing it with circles, it's a very easy thing to do. You're not spending hours and hours in cutting out, you know, fringes and things like that to do. It's just a matter of literally taking your hole punch and just finding any of your little scraps in the colours that you want. So, you know, you could do it at any time of year. You could do, you know, blue ones, you could do purple ones, you could do all sorts of, you know, they're not necessarily just for Christmas. Right, let's have this one, because we've got quite a few of these ones going on. So put that one on. But I love doing different things for Christmas. Now you can see this one's got a piece cut off, but it doesn't matter because most of them are being tucked in. Now I don't think I'm going to get this one underneath on here, am I? Or am I? Yes, I am. Okay, so that's tucked in, and again is a little bit nearer. So it doesn't matter, you know, the distances between or anything. Once it's finished, you will see that it's just lovely as it is. So next row, let's put some more of these ones on. And as I say, you know, you can make them as near or as far as you want. So you can have them touching each other a lot or just touching each other a little bit. Now, as we're getting up, you need to sort of bend it a little bit more so that you want them to wrap around the cone rather than sticking completely proud. So just by bending them a bit, you're going to get that. I'm going to have another pink. I do like this pink. Quite like pink. And obviously you can do whatever you want on here. I'm just doing it with paper. You could do it with, oh, I don't know, all sorts of things. In fact, we might do another one with something different for another video. I'll have to see how I'm going with my different ideas and things. because that's the difficulty with doing 12 weeks. There are so many ideas that I get, you know, down to my 12 weeks and I think, oh, I should have done that. Oh, I should have done. And you can, you know, spend a lot of time doing lots of different ideas and not getting them all done. So, but then I suppose there's some then for the following year, because I try and do things that are different each year and they're not, you know, all the same. Because I think sometimes it's it can be, particularly with a lot of you that have been with me right from the start. You know, if I did the same things every year, you'd be turning around and going, oh, hold on a minute, I saw that last year. I mean, sometimes I do things that are similar, only because if it's an absolute favourite, then I tend to make it myself every year. So, and I'm showing you things that I do, that I'm doing myself for my tables and my decorations and things around the house. Just taking the little bits of string off on here. So you can see how it's coming along. I do need to put a little tiny bit of glue underneath there. That was the first one that just didn't stick out enough. And do you remember I said I didn't like it because I hadn't bent it? Excuse me. A bit of glue going up my nose. Okay, so that's better. But you can see on here, taking the glue off, that you're getting a really lovely design going. As I say, you probably can't see it so much from the top. Have a look. No, you can see how it's coming along, but you can't see it as easily. And I can't put it down because then I can't see where I'm going. So, right, let's do, we haven't got that many more to do. And that's going to go on here. Now, you could put a star or something at the top. I'm not going to put a star. I'm going to do something different. I really like ribbon. And, you know, well, you do know me. I'm not very good at tying ribbons and things. However, you can do some really pretty ribbon ideas with your glue gun. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to show you, because I didn't on the last one doing the pine cones. You saw it on the front picture, and I know that, you know, a lot of you would have liked that idea if you didn't know how to do it already. I know a lot of you know how to do some of these things already, but if you haven't, then it's a good way of knowing how to do it. Okay, so as we're getting nearer to the top, we do need to just add a little bit of glue in underneath on this, because being a circle, it's on the cone, they're not going to stick down nicely otherwise. So I'm just doing an extra little bit of glue on the side pieces here. Let's have one of these sparkly ones, because we're getting near the top, so I can now go like, oh, I want more of this one or more of that one. So on this, I am going to take the glue right the way across on here and up. So can you see I've taken the glue a little bit further down, because what I want it to do is to come over nicely and stick on, still having a little bit over. Okay, I think I might get a little pink in there, mightn't I? So let's see. Again, if you've got paper that is slightly thinner, it's easier to do the poking bit. So when you get to this one, this is a slightly thinner paper, and I don't think I can I get it in? No, it's going to come in and it's going to come across on here, because it won't go right the way in on there, and I don't want to spoil it. So put that one down. Right, now we're up onto the top layer, which is going to be, so I want some pink on there. That's a nice pink one. So this, we really need to bend it round quite a bit, because it's got to go round, and I'm going to put quite a bit of glue on this. So I'm going to take it down like in a cross so that I can get it to come down on here. I need to make sure that I'm doing it across in the middle. Okay, so that holds it down that way. And let's have one of these silver ones because I like that one. So when you get to the top, you can choose your favorites, and yeah, you don't need that many actually. I thought I needed more than I did, so I've done some, but you can see you're only using scraps, so really great idea for all your little scraps. You can make a multicolored one if you wanted to, or as I say, you can just make it green Christmassy, but I didn't want it green Christmassy. I wanted it you know, to look a little bit different. So, but I'm now getting one that's got a nice little bit of the copper in there, so I'm going to have that on there. And again, I'm just putting a little bit more glue than I probably would down at the bottom because I want it to come through and to wrap around nicely like that. We've got another one to come in on here. So this one is going to be, what colour am I going to have that on? I can't have another pink on there. I could have another one of this, couldn't I? Which is this rather nice full. And you see I'm really wrapping this one round because it's got to go in, and quite a bit of glue on there. You do have to be careful with hot glue if you're not used to using it. No, that's going to have to come right over the top on here and not get tucked under. Don't again think it matters that much. So I'm just making sure that that's over on here. And then we've just got, we get one more in on here. I think we can only probably get one or two in on here. So up on this top bit, because we haven't got a huge amount. So I'm just going to take the glue on here, quite a lot of glue on this because I want it to be wrapped round. So take it round and wrap it round on here so it stays out nicely. So that's one, and I'm going to put 3 round, so I'm just making sure that I am wrapping it really well, and I'm using quite a lot of glue, because as long as you use enough glue, so I'm literally doing glue right the way around the side on this rather than just a little bit, because this has got to be wrapped round completely. And you can see there's a little bit at the top, but that's fine because the piece at the top I'm going to use, I might use this, do I want this one up on there? Yes I do, I quite like that. Oh, that's a better one actually. Put all the copper in on there. So give this a really good twist. A lot of glue in on here. And then stick this one up in like that. Make sure I've got it right the way round. Okay, so you can now see, as I'm just drying the glue, how you can how you've got the cone coming through and how pretty it looks. Okay, very difficult for you to see that way up. I'd really need to try and do it at that sort of angle so you can see it, but ever so pretty. Now what are we going to do with this top bit? So I think I am going to use, have I got any silver ribbon? I've got lots of gold. I've got a little bit of this. I don't think I've got any silver left. I think I've used all my silver. So I'm going to use the same gold as I did before. Okay, so what we need to do on this is we are going to make a, we're going to put a blob of glue on the centre. And then we're going to put our ribbon down like this so that it's stuck on there. Okay. Then we're going to take this and we're just going to curl it round so that it comes in like a little point. You see how it comes in a point? So you take it from there, you curl it round in a little point, and then we're going to put a little bit of glue just in on here. And this is where wet glue is the most wonderful thing in the world, because it sticks things perfectly. So we don't want this too big, but we want to turn it round and then just put it there. So you've got a nice little rib on there. Then if you come to the other side, so we're going to put another little blob of glue in the center here. I know you can see this because you're looking at it from above. So this one again, you are going to, and I keep it on the spool, you're going to turn it over again. So you have it the same sort of size, and we're just going to glue that one down. So you've got your 2 points on either side. Then we're going to go on to the next side, and again, before I put my glue down, I make sure that I've done my curls so I know which way it's going to go. Then I'm going to take another little tiny bit of glue just on the top, wrap this one round. So again, we've got it on there, and then we're going to come back to the last side, so it has 4 pieces on it. You could have left it with 3 actually. Do I like it with 3? No, I want it with 4. So on here, this is going to be the last one. Wrap it round, and it's going to come around like this. And it's going to come in on here like that. So I'm going to take that out. A little snip of scissors. It probably would have worked as 3 actually, because it's there's not a huge amount of room to do the 4, but I think I can just about get it in. So make sure I've got my hook, little blob of glue, turn my piece around, and put my glue in on here. And turn this one up. Yeah, 4 is too much. Let me take that out while I'm doing it. I'm just going to have 3 on here because it's such a small space. You can't really get the 4th one in. So I'm just going to take 3 on here. Pop that one down. And then on the last bit, because obviously we've got a little bit of glue, which I hope you can sort of see in there, you've got a bit of glue on there, we can put, and I've used these, do you remember I said to you before why I keep them for special occasions? I've still got some of these, any sort of really big twinkly that you've got. Now I've got still a few of these left, which I absolutely love. So I could put one of these ones, but these are my favourite. So I'm going to put one of these and a little bob of glue in the centre, so I know that it's going to stick nicely. And then that can go in on the centre like that. So that gives you your top. Now, let's move this out of the way. Whoops, so you can see it. A little bit of string of glue pulling it down. But I hope if I turn it around like that, so that's your top, which again you could do on the top of anything, but a really easy way to do it and good with wet glue. And then, as I say, if you turn it round, you can see you've got all of the beautiful twinkles and things in. It makes just a beautiful little tree centerpiece, and as I say, is going to be in the center with the 2 pine cones either side, and then I'm going to put foliage and things around it. But I thought that you would like this idea because it's a simple one, but it does look beautiful when you've got the right coloured papers going together. So thank you so much for watching me. As always, please stay safe and well. Please be kind, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye bye.